lot of you guys hear me say, I got this client and and this is facts. Like, I don't make this shit up. I've got clients personally that I do not talk to, but maybe once a year. I have a client, I kid you not, across the street, like 2 blocks that way. I haven't talked to him in over 12 months. Okay. And so you're like, well, wait, whoa, how does that work? Guys, when you have a client that's been with you for a while and you've consistently produced leads and they've consistently gotten results, you don't have to talk to them very often. Okay. The retention's pretty much there. Okay. There's not a lot that goes into it. Now, does retaining them, calling them, doing some kind of retention steps hurt? Absolutely not. But for somebody like me, who loves the sale and loves the chase, and he's got all these different things going on, and I'm building this program and everything else, I don't have to talk to him, and it's amazing, right? But that's after that you've gotten that relationship. It's after that initial contract. It's after that website that I'm talking about. It's Towing St. George. And that guy has been getting the same amount of leads for years and years and years. I've been charging his card for years and years and years. And we don't talk that often. And he's cool and I'm cool. And we'll keep doing our thing. Okay. But here's the thing that some of you guys don't realize is in the beginning. Okay. In the beginning of any relationship, okay, with these clients, that's different. Okay, because even though they signed the deal, that doesn't mean that they fully trust you. They trust you enough to give you their card. They trust you enough that you're not going to screw them over and take their money and run, but that doesn't mean they fully trust you. Okay, so if you just immediately go MIA, good luck. Okay, so in the beginning, it is important to have a system for keeping clients happy because there are still going to be those lingering doubts, okay? So the beautiful part about this process is that we send the leads do the selling for us, you follow the process, boom, 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 you get the card, done, okay? But that doesn't mean people aren't still gonna have some of their doubts. Some of them may be thinking, well, Jerry produced us 3 juicy leads. He seems like a nice guy. We got on Zoom. He showed me some of his clients and we trust him. And they talk to their partner. Let's do a 6-month deal. Okay. Let's do it. Let's try this guy out for 3 months. Let's try this guy out for 6 months. The worst is, $6,000. We've already made half of that on these leads, but these guys might still have doubts. Okay. And so in the beginning, I'm going to repeat this. In the beginning, it is important to have a system for keeping clients happy because there are still going to be those doubts. And the other thing is there's going to be mixed results in the beginning. If you have a landing page and you sell them off of a landing page, right? You go fast, you do the 1-pager and you just pre-sell the shit out of it, just like we teach. Okay. You are going to have some mixed results. And that's why when you talk to them, you say, hey, look, this is an average over the 6 months. We're going to be averaging 10 to 15 leads. Now, Mr. Business Owner, does that mean that 1 month we might have 7? Yep. Does that mean that 1 month we might have 20? Yep. It's an average of the months. Okay. Just so you know. So when you're 7 1 month, don't freak out. We'll make up for it by the time this is said and done, we will be in that average. Okay. And now you just go do your SEO. So it's important to have that. And again, you're going to have some mixed results, right? Like you're going to have a competitor go and click on your ad. You're going to set up your ad and Google's going to want a verification and you're not going to realize it. And all of a sudden there's no leads coming in. You go in, you needed to click one button and you didn't realize it. And you win a week. And now all of a sudden there's mixed results, right? Or you get an account suspended, or your SEO takes a while. Like there's all these variables when it's a brand new site. And so you have to account for that. And how you make up for that is you don't oversell and you have a solid system in place to follow up and keep in touch with these clients. Okay. And so here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you what we're doing. And I'm also going to give you a caveat that it's not perfect. Okay. It is not perfect. I know my process of getting clients to pay me to get a credit card file, it is damn near perfect. I mean, I'm yet to find a scenario where this can't work. And for those of you that are like, well, I haven't gotten a deal yet. Well, you haven't done enough reps. Okay. I promise you will get a deal. I have no doubt in my mind, you will get a deal. I know that system's perfect. My retention system is not perfect. It's not 100% perfect, but it's good. Okay. It's good and it's worked. And so I'm just going to give it to you. You guys can iterate on it, but I'm going to tell you what has been working. Okay. By the way, this is Diet Mountain Dew. a whole bunch of other shitty stuff for my body. Let's talk about what we do, what Evergreen does, Evergreen leads. Here's kind of like our method with our clients. And again, we try to maintain this with all of our clients, but especially, and we give the definitely, like, we make sure the new clients have this in place and they get this attention. Okay. So we do 2 check-ins, okay, per month. That's kind of what we try and do. So in the middle of the month, and by the way, guys, you can replay this if you want to take whatever, like, this is my system. Doesn't mean it's perfect. It means what I'm doing. Okay. We did scale over 100K a month, but maybe it's wrong. So here's what we do is we do a check-in in the middle of the month. Okay. Somewhere in that middle week, we do a check-in. Okay. Then at the end of the month, we do a dig in. Okay. More of a formal screencast, Zoom call. Hey, get at your computer. Let's look at this. Phone call, whatever. That's more of like a let's dig in call. Okay. Middle of the month, we just do a simple check-in. Sometimes, as we can tell clients are doing well, we're getting them a bunch of leads. A lot of times we'll just shoot over a text, hey, just thinking about you, whatever. And we'll get into like what we actually do on those. But just so you guys know, we do 2 per month, 2 touches per month. Middle of the month is just a touch, like a check-in, quick call, whatever. If it's going really well, maybe just a text, let them know that we're still there, we're doing stuff. And at the end of the month / first of the month, it's a dig in. It's a dig in and figure out what's going on. Okay. So here's a couple of little pointers. When you're doing these like mid-month check-ins, have a reason for calling. Okay. Have a reason for calling. So typically what I do is I'll just use some random excuse. So like, for example, we'll have a lead that comes in and it's a commercial job and it's outside their area or whatever. And whatever, I could just see. And what I'll do is I'll typically just call and be like, hey, I saw that, like, that one came in, had a weird area code or whatever. I wanted to check, was that something that you guys do cover that area? Like, was that actually some of your areas? Wanted to check in on that. And I'll always have like a specific reason for calling. It's usually about a lead, or it's about like, hey, are you getting the emails? Or I just have a reason. Okay. Instead of just calling and just like whatever. And I'll tell you what. Okay. Another thing that I'll say is hey, just wanted to, and I wrote it down here. I'll just say, I just wanted to check and go over a few things and make sure that the leads are getting handled. And so, this is what I've realized is if you just call the business owner and like give them an open mic and say, hey, Fred, hey, Jack, just wanted to check if there's anything that we can do to improve. Is there anything we can do to improve? Guys, I'm all about over delivering. But if you ask somebody a question like that, guess what's going to happen? Even if there's nothing, they're going to search for an answer. Their brains, that's how the human brain works. Oh, he asked me if there's anything that I can do that they can do to improve. Let me think of some random ass shit to give them. Okay. If you ask for an improvement, they're going to give you one, whether it needs it or not. So I don't like to just leave the floor open. Okay. I don't. Now, again, this comes back to like, there's a fine line. I do want to have a freaking amazing product that delivers, it over delivers. It's way more than they ever got sold on, but I'm not going to leave the floor open for them just to bitch and moan and put stuff in their head. Okay. So I always call that first call with a specific lead. And then I got ahead of myself on the next call. What we typically say is we typically say, hey, we wanted to just do a quick meeting and we want to make sure these leads are getting handled. Okay. It's not, we don't say, hey, we just wanted to go over every single lead, or, hey, we wanted to see how we can improve, all that kind of stuff. Guys, you know where you need to improve. They're going to let you know if it's drastic. Okay. And so I put right here, if you ask how things are going, or if there's anything you could improve on, they are going to find an answer. Period. Plain and simple. So if you guys want to create problems, go ahead and ask a question like that. They're going to find an answer. They're humans. Okay. So a couple important notes when we're doing these calls. Okay. That mid-month one, literally just a touch-in. Okay. Like just so they know that you're there, and feel free to, like, if there was a juicy lead that came in or whatever, you can ask them about a lead. I just like to check in and see how they're doing. Okay. And sometimes that mid-month call, we don't even talk about business at all. Like I just ask them about the leads. I mean, I'll ask them about business. Like, how's business going? It's warming up over here. How's it in Florida, man? Like whatever, some bullshit like that. Right. And we just kind of shoot it. And I'm just trying to keep a relationship. I'm trying to let them know like they are important. They do matter. And we do appreciate their business. Okay. That's all that is. Now, if something comes up, you got a question, whatever, boom, address it. Okay. But that's all. That's just a check-in. Okay. At the end of the month, we let them know we want to go over a couple of things, but I want to say this is these are the two things that you have to remember. Okay. And that you need to focus on as you're getting on these calls is number one, make sure that you are getting those 12 to 15 leads. Like number one, you got to make sure you're hitting the numbers. Okay. And if you're not, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if you're not hitting those numbers, you need to make sure to bring that up first. Okay. And I'll give a shout out to Linda, because Linda took the concept we talk about in the setup, which is overcoming the objections by bringing it up first. And she's like, yeah, you can do this with every single thing. And so to recap, what she does is if a client, she's sending leads and the client doesn't close any leads, before, right when they get on the call, she brings it up first. She goes, hey, how'd those 3 leads go? I know you didn't close any. That's pretty normal. I mean, this is a numbers game, like no big deal. And then she never has an issue. Okay. But before, when she would just like, they would bring it up and say, well, we haven't closed any leads. We don't know how the quality is going to be. Okay. Same concept here. If you guys get on the phone on this dig-in call, which is at the end or the beginning of the month, however you structure it, and you're not hitting the leads, make sure you bring it up first. Okay. So what I would do is be like, hey, just want to go over really quick a couple of these leads. And by the way, as I said, we're going to average that that 10 to 15 mark. This month is a little bit slower, but I fully anticipate this month's going to be a better month. And like I told you, it's an average. So it is what it is, whatever. Like you just bring it up first. Okay. So make sure number one, that you're actually hitting the numbers. Okay. Because if you're not hitting the numbers, then if you do that for a couple months in a row, they're going to get concerned. Make sure that you're getting the numbers. If you need to bump up the ads, if you need to double down on your SEO efforts, whatever, make sure that you're hitting those numbers. And those numbers should not be hard to hit. 10, 12, 15 leads, somewhere in that range, especially if you start getting some organic that's coupled with that, that should not be hard to get. And those of you that have sites that are getting organic anyway, shouldn't be hard to hit at all. Okay. That's number one. Number two, after you're hitting the leads, what you need to do and what your next concern needs to be is you need to work with them to help them with closing the leads. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, guys, I know at the end of the day, it's not your fault. You can't close the leads for them. They didn't pay you to close the leads. You didn't tell them you were going to close the leads. You said you would get them leads. And even if you didn't undersell or oversell it, here's what you need to realize. Okay. If clients do not close leads, whether it's your fault or theirs, they will blame it on you. Okay. If your clients do not close any of your leads, they will blame it on you.